I wanted to pick up on something you mentioned, and just as a point of departure. That 70% in some of these countries, 70% of the population will be under 30. And you think that this year is the 30th anniversary of the collapse of the Soviet Union. So that increasingly we're dealing with people who have the Soviet Union, the Cold War. These are it's ancient history. It's not even in the course of their lifetime. And yet we have certainly a president who entered the Senate, in 1973, and an interesting piece that Peter Beinart did a few weeks ago, which essentially says that the people the Biden-Harris team generally has around them, are people whose experience is shaped by these events of 30 years ago, the fall of the Berlin Wall, collapse of the Soviet Union, American unipolarism, America at the center, but also still very much defined by this, dealing with the end of the Cold War and America's emergence. How is that shaping with the people in young professionals for foreign policy, in the sense, are they, when they are interacting with the older generations, as it were, are they trying to steer them? Are you have the older generation, these are the things that matter, and so this is what has to matter to you? Or are you seeing this first steps towards, we have to, as you said, reconceptualize America's role in the world, reconceptualize who America's partners will be, and even reconceptualize the tools that we use, that, nuclear throw weights may be less important in the mid 21st century than, breaking through new green energy technologies. But, are you seeing a sense that there's going to be evolution in policy and in the generations, or do you see it more that the Cold War generation is not changing fast enough to deal with these new realities?
Well, I think there's a lot of hope coming out of the Biden administration about his priorities, including climate, that are really aligned with the fears and the focus of the next generation. So, the fear that, Biden's generation was raised with about communism and the Cold War, like you said, that's ancient history. Young people, it's not even, in the back of their minds, a fear of communism, or, versus capitalism and the economy. What young people, I think, are really concerned about are climate change and the crisis that comes with that, and jobs. And I think that is across the globe. And what we're seeing is that young people, because of the access that they have through media and technology, that they're really able to use their voices and advocate for what's important to them. So you see people like Greta Thunberg or Malala or Shama Mazrui, who is the youth minister from the UAE at the age of 23. And there are these really loud, strong voices on critical issues. But what you don't see are the hundreds of thousands of other young people who are also critically engaged in and working to address these global challenges. So I hope that, and I believe that, judging on the Obama-Biden administration, that young people and engaging youth globally will be a huge priority for this administration. And the Obama administration really invested in young people in an unprecedented way through the YALI program, through the YLI program, and even at home in the United States. And so I think that, young people, youth will be a priority issue to the Biden administration once damage control and kind of the dust begins to settle. Damage control is done and the dust begins to settle.